The first question that we need to tackle whenever we discuss the 49ers roster construction is the quarterback position. Not because we're in doubt about whether or not Jimmy Garoppolo will start or whether or not Trey Lance will play. Both of those two things are going to happen. You're going to see both Garoppolo and Lance on the field. If that wasn't obvious on Sunday, then it will never be obvious to you, I guess, until you're hit in the face with it on game day. But that's definitely going to happen against Detroit on September 12th. But from a roster construction standpoint, we need to know how many quarterbacks the 49ers are going to carry. Will they carry two or will they carry three? If you take a look at the roster right here in the QB room, gold means 53-man projection. Red means bubble or practice squad projection. So in this case, practice squad. 3 total, Garoppolo, Lance. And you'll notice, if you've been following my spreadsheet for a while, that I now have Nate Sudfeld on the right side of the delineating line. I project the 49ers to carry only 2 quarterbacks on their 53-man roster. That'll be Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance. Why won't they carry Nate Sudfeld? Well, there are many reasons not to carry Nate Sudfeld. The biggest one is that this is a loaded roster. And as soon as I get through the rest of that spreadsheet that I just showed, you'll notice that there are several positions where the 49ers would absolutely wish that they had one extra spot. Because 53 is not a lot of guys, especially when you have a very, very talented 80-man roster. By carrying only 2 quarterbacks, the 49ers will ensure that at least one of those positions where they wish that they had an extra spot, they will have that extra spot. I don't think that carrying Nate Sudfeld brings any redeeming value to this team on game days. First of all, that third quarterback sometimes isn't even dressed as one of your 46, or now it's 48 players who are up and in uniform on game day. And even if Nate Sudfeld were dressed, because I understand the 49ers will be using 2 quarterbacks in Garoppolo and Lance, so maybe you want that third one at the ready in uniform. I think the 49ers are probably in trouble if they do hit that third quarterback. If both Garoppolo and Lance get hurt in the same game, at the point that you get to Nate Sudfeld, there's already a lot wrong, and I'm not so sure that a guy like Nate Sudfeld will be able to salvage it. This 49ers team is taking a risk, and they're taking several risks. They have rolled the dice on this season by handing out several one-year contracts. They're bending over backwards to fit under the cap. Hell, even keeping Jimmy Garoppolo around is a push your chips into the middle of the table move. Keeping 3 quarterbacks wouldn't be a push your chips into the middle of the table move. It would not be congruent with how the 49ers have acted. If you're going to push your chips into the middle of the table, if you're going to insulate that quarterback position with Garoppolo and Lance, then you got to have some kind of faith that Garoppolo and Lance will make it through, or Lance, I guess I should say, one of the two will make it through all 17 games. That's just the bottom line. If you carry Sudfeld, the only reason you do so is because you somehow believe that both Garoppolo and Lance are going to get hurt one of these weeks at the same time, and you have to you're playing scared as far as building the roster as far as I'm concerned. And I don't think that is something that the 49ers have been operating under as far as their style this offseason. So I don't think they carry Ned Sudfeld. And the main reason that financially we have evidence of this is that they gave him $252,000 of guaranteed money. What does $252,000 mean? Well, divide that by 18. $252,000 divided by 18 is the amount of weeks in the regular season, 17 plus one of the buys. It comes out to $14,000 per week. $14,000 per week happens to be the practice squad salary for veterans. So the 49ers gave Nate Sudfeld $252,000 in guaranteed money when they signed him, which is exactly the practice squad salary for veterans. If you follow the money, that shows you that the 49ers agreed with Nate Sudfeld that he'd at least make the practice squad. Now, I don't think it was that simple at the start. I think they still had Josh Rosen in the mix at the time. I think that they wanted to see what Sudfeld showed, and they also wanted to see what Josh Rosen showed. If Josh Rosen completely balled out in training camp and in preseason, and the 49ers thought that, oh, okay, maybe this guy can be Lance's backup of the future after Garoppolo's gone, I think the 49ers would have squeezed Josh Rosen onto their 53-man roster. Obviously, that didn't happen. They waived Josh Rosen far ahead of the 53-man cutdown day, and now they're left with only Nate Sudfeld, where I think that the logical move is to not carry him on that 53-man roster because it's not that hard to call guys up from the practice squad. So that's where you should expect Nate Sudfeld to land.